friends, YouTube friends, I should say, music friends. So it's been a hard day, very hard day. Um, Today is actually the anniversary of me moving to Portland from Colorado in 2018. And I don't know, just anniversaries are hard, especially when you're a very depressed, very anxious person. Sometimes you don't feel like the world has been kind to you or something like that, or like you deserve to be doing the shows that you're doing if you're me. Like, and then I'll just level with everybody. I feel really bad because I have not responded to people who've been writing me messages, and I have not been doing my best work because I've been snowed under with stress and anxiety and depression and health woes and a broken computer that ended up taking a total dive on the zero click attack day. Just blue screened on me during a show and uh, deleted my archives, all of them. Yes, and I'm dumb enough to not have some of them backed up. Uh, I don't know why. I thought I had them on my hard drive, but I don't think that I do. So it's been a really rough battle just knowing that everything that I broadcast during the quarantine is gone. That's it was stunningly hard. Anyway, and then today is my the anniversary of me moving to Portland, which was, dude, I I lived, 15 miles east of Boulder, Colorado, um, in a very bougie aircraft park where my parents have a house, and I was not feeling great about living there because there were absolutely no services. It's a very bougie place, so they don't pay taxes to the city for buses or for anything else because they don't need them. Because in places like that, you just don't need it. And because of that, like if you're stuck there and you're chronically ill, like I am, I have MS, and I am now in a power wheelchair. Then I needed to be in a power wheelchair too, but it wasn't like anybody was giving me one, so I was still walking around, but not doing it well. And I was out in the country where everything's 5 miles from everything else, and got my insurance taken so I couldn't drive, and was on some pretty heavy medicine so I couldn't drive, got my license taken, and it was rough. I was just out there with no one and nothing. Sort of lost a great deal of my friends when I moved out of Denver because I had lived in Denver for a great number of years and had not lived that close to Boulder for a great number of years, so I didn't have a ton of friends out there. Um, and it was rough. It was really rough, and nobody really came to visit me, and I felt like I was dying. And I wasn't, but I felt like I was. And life looked super freaking hopeless. I had my old friend Jeremy, who is desperately dear to me. I mean, like, dearer to my heart than anybody else that I can think of other than my daughter. And yes, yes, I do have a daughter. She's a teenager now. But back then, she was a little kid. And I was busy just losing everything, just losing every piece of my life and having to move in with my mom and dad on the air park, which I grew up there. And the fact that I grew up on an airport was what got me a radio license, actually made me a broadcaster. Um, just picked it up as a hobby, trying to get math and science credits. Oh, hey, Shivan Saha. Hi. Um, anyway, so and thank you for the compliment. But I was out there just alone and thinking I was dying. I wasn't, because MS doesn't kill you. It just makes you walk through hell. And it really does. You hurt all the time. And when you don't have a wheelchair and you're walking around, it's just painful and horrible. So, and you fall all the time and you hurt yourself all the time. And I was out there with no services, no buses, nothing. And all of my friends gone. It felt very isolating. And I had this one friend, like I said, Jeremy, who who came back and talked to me after many years. I thought he was pissed off because once upon a time I was married, and I had gotten married, and he was my dearest friend, and I desperately wanted to date him, and couldn't admit that. He couldn't admit that he wanted to date me. It was nuts. So came back at me and was like, hey, let's be friends. And we used to talk on the phone all the time. And at a certain point he said, we were talking one night, and he said he was telling me about this chance he had to work VFX on Lord of the Rings. And I was like, why didn't you take that? And he said, I was afraid of what would happen. And I said, well, you make me a deal. He said, maybe. And I said, well, next time you end up like with a big opportunity like that, looking a dragon in the face, do me a favor. Instead of running away from the dragon because it's going to breathe fire at you, run towards it. Run towards it. You'll find that the dragons, like, if they breathe fire, that you want to run not before that, not before they get the chance to show you what they're made of. What opportunities are made of. If they're going to breathe fire at you, then you run. And then you bail. But before that, try and embrace the dragon and see if it purrs when you pet it. And so if something scary comes up, if something truly scary happens, embrace it. Run towards it, not away from it. You make me that deal? He said, yeah, sure. Next scary thing I come up across, I'll embrace it. So then the next scary thing he came up across was the fact that we talked on the phone like every night. We were just the best of friends. And he had fallen deeply, desperately in love with me. And I had fallen deeply, desperately in love with him. Over the phone even. Like, I believe Portland is 1,600 miles from where I lived. And we knew it was a long distance relationship, but those don't often work. But it was worth it. So he said, I'm just really in love with you. And so I said, I think it would be fun to move to Portland, actually. And he said, that'd be awesome. I said I'd be back and forth from Colorado because my daughter still lives there. I still need to go visit my parents and stuff. And he was like, yeah, no problem. But he called me, and about 2 weeks in, said, hey, I've got an idea for you. You want to go on a road trip? And I was like, yeah, without even knowing where we were going. He said, we're going out east. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Let's just go. He's like, I have this dream that you'll just pack a bag and just go with me and just move back to Portland. I was like, that would be wild, wouldn't it? So that's what I actually did. I got brave. I packed one suitcase and came here in 2018 with one suitcase and a promise from my mom that she would send me some stuff in the mail. And that someday I'd go back and get my stuff from there. I had literally like 2 weeks worth of clothing and like some belongings. That's it. That's all I had. Yeah, and they had withdrawn me from all of my MS medications. I could not get health care when I first moved here, and they made me suffer for it. And I suffered for a good, I think it was 8 months before I finally got full health care and got taken care of at OHSU. But that was also a nightmare. Because I swear to God, those people, they had no value for my life and did not care what was happening to me. So I fought to be here. I fought for years to be here till I could finally get on Kaiser and the doctors would finally take care of me. So now I'm here and I never ever want to leave. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. I see you in the chat there. Thank you. It is such a hurdle. Like when they're trying to kill you, like wholesale, like denying you your disease modifying medications, like, and you're sure you're gonna die. You're not, but you're gonna suffer. When they withdraw you from every one of your pain medications, it was rough. Like that'll kill you. I was on these pain medications that were like half SSRI and half opiate. I tell you, withdrawing from those cold turkey, I thought that was going to kill me. And it was, yeah, what did I even do? Well, this is what I did. So I knew some people who were here and who loved weed. And they just they pitched a couple of jars of weed jelly to me and said, try and make it through on this. And whatever we need to do to support you, we'll try. Try not to die, please. Keep eating. And that's what I did. I cried every day. I cried with the pain. And I bathed in this stuff called Voltaren gel, which they would actually give me at the hospital. And that's all they would give me. And it was rough. It was rough, man. It was a couple years of rough, of no pain medication and very few disease modifying treatments. And I thought I was going to die. Kratom, too. God bless you, Kratom. If you're going through opiate withdrawals, find some kratom. It'll save your life. It saved mine. Kratom and weed saved my life. And I got through it. And now I'm better. I'm with Kaiser. And I see, it's awesome. You got great friends. I do have great friends. They're dear to me, dear to my heart. My friend Matt here in Portland. He's a good guy. I'm gonna go for his birthday. His birthday is very close to mine. We both have birthdays in September. Gonna go on a scavenger hunt. It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna love it. So, I am rambling, but that's okay. This is the prelude to my video show. I've had a really hard day. It has been rough because I do this. I put these lists together, right? These lists of up and coming new music. So I have this whole list of rad electronic stuff like synthpop tunes, and I'm connected with a couple of promoters who were supposed to hook me up with some interviews with some of the people, and because I couldn't get a hold of keep it up with the rambling, please. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for that awesome note. Uh, awesome. Thank you, WC. Anyway, so I have these rad lists, and these promoters were counting on me to publish them, and then I didn't because I got very sick. And then didn't get back a hold of my old radio partners that I was doing radio with, like DKFM and Eardrum Buzz. I was the morning host on Eardrum Buzz, and for some reason, I have no idea what I did. Like, I did not, when I left for a year of hiatus, right? A year of hiatus from radio because I'd been doing it every single day for like 3 or 4 hours a day for like 3 years. And it was grueling, honestly, like putting together all the new music lists for every single genre. Like honestly, I call it radio work because I have an FCC license. I was a radio broadcaster at one point, but that was a long time ago. Actually, I've been on internet for a long, long time, so it's internet broadcasting. So whatever, broadcasting. Sorry, running a nose. So yeah, like I was doing the morning radio and I was doing a different genre every single day. And on Monday I did like these big wave and witch house lists where I was doing like full remixes like every month. Full like I think those remix lists were like 2.5, 3 hours long. It was a lot. And I would follow all the collectives, and then on Tuesday I would do a big doom list and support all the doom and metal bands because my station manager wanted me to. So I knew nothing about metal when I started. I knew nothing really. I didn't know about the newest kinds of electronic music. I knew about chill wave, but I didn't really know witch house and wave, but then I did. Yeah, once I started doing it, I did, and then I was really into it. And once I really got into doom metal, really got into it, and doom gaze. And then Wednesday, of course, Wednesday is Shoegaze Wednesday because I'm mad at Maledicta. It's Shoegaze Wednesday, and I hope it always is. Because that's the thing I've been doing since like 2007, 2008. Okay, I'm reading this comment just really quick. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you love morning radio shows. They're fun. They're so fun. The banter that goes on morning radio shows is fun. And I used to have fun doing my morning radio show, but I also didn't have fun getting up at like 5:30 a.m. every day and preparing things and making sure the station was running in the morning. Because I was basically the only one. It was just all me, like all me. I didn't have staff. I didn't have like teleprompters or anything. It's just, just like this, just sort of impromptu. Bam, there's a show. Let's do a show. It was rough, and I had to prepare it like every week. It's nuts. So just me, yeah, just me is just me. I had my station manager who would mostly he would send me some stuff, but it was mostly not stuff I was gonna play. Because mostly I source my list off of YouTube, and I have for a long, long time. I'm a subscriber to like I think at this point like 850 channels, which is crazy. Thank you for saying I'm killing it. You rock. You know what? I just want to hug you right now. Thank you. You're, you're, thank you. That's really heartwarming. Thank you. So, anyway, so I did this morning show, and I went on a hiatus for a year because my daughter ended up on a 72-hour hold. It was bad news, and I ended up having to go to. You were awesome. You were awesome. um, yes, I'm responding to comments as I'm going. Huh? But so she ended up on a 72-hour hold. And I didn't really know why. Her dad just called me and said, "Yeah, she's fine. Everything's gonna be fine," in sort of a very nervous voice and very freaked out. I could tell something bad happened. I didn't know what. And I just rushed out to Nebraska to see my kid because I was like, if you're on a 72-hour hold, you definitely need people to show up and say they love you and tell you that your life is incredibly precious and tell you that you're precious and support you through the new and weird meds that they're going to end up on a 72-hour hold. It was pretty rough, and she did. It was pretty rough. She ended up on some nutty antipsychotics that made her very woozy. So it was pretty rough for her. But we showed up out there. Me and my boyfriend showed up out there, and we spent a week trying to find accessible accommodations. Well, we did that the first day, but the accessible accommodations we got were rough. So I ended up having to mod a bed to try and sleep in it, and it was not good. It jacked up my back really bad. And then when I got back to Portland after, oh, I think it was like a week of being in Nebraska in the weird Midwest where, I mean, look at me. I'm I'm not Kearney, Nebraska material. Everywhere I went, people were like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with that girl? She worships Satan." Yeah, me and my check it out. Okay, I'll show you. Like this is my Witch House TV shirt. Yeah, so I was wearing stuff like that in Nebraska. People were like, "What's wrong with her?" Yeah, it was fun. It was fun going places, but it was also not fun. And people would see me in the wheelchair and they'd just stare. It's just a very weird place. It was very unlike Portland, where people just sort of side eye you when you're in a wheelchair and like, scoff. But anyway, so we're out there and oh, your mother-in-law's a witch and she would love me. Well, I would love her too because I'm witchy. Yeah, I'm a potion girl. I can seriously, no joke, because I've been through so much like medical withdrawal. I can cure almost anything at this point, and I'm not joking. Yeah, my neighbors come over and they're like, "Oh, Sandra got a bee sting." I'm like, "Oh, here, let me help you out." And then they come back and they're like, "How did you do it?" I'm like, "Cause when you are forced to heal yourself, you learn how. Just trust me. Me and the herbs, I got everything. This house is pharmacopoeia. You sick? I got you." Yeah. So, hi Slenderman, and hi WZ. So, this is a very long intro. I hope you're all, I hope you're all like with me here and bearing with it. So I love you all. Thank you for being here. You have no idea how thankful I am for you, all of you. Anyway, so I was out in Nebraska, and I said to every one of my radio partners, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm burned out, and I have no passion for it anymore. And it's just me, and I can't deal with it, and I am going to go hibernate for a while and get my senses back about me, and I'll be back. I'll be back soon enough. And 3 months turned into 6 months, and pretty soon after 7 months, I had not left my bedroom or my house, and I kind of got weird and agoraphobic about it. And I was scared of everyone and everything, and it was not like me, and anxiety just ramped up through the roof. Not that MS doesn't already present anxiety, because if you've got lesions in your brain, they're like little ski jumps full of fat, and thoughts just go woo and go like sailing off the jumps in your brain and go wherever they go. It's it is just such a shift. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's true. And so like yeah, I was just I gave up my morning show and had no schedule, and it ruined my life. Imagine that. So then I had to rehabilitate myself and be like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm planning these shows again. I'm not gonna do this 5 days a week thing anymore. I'm not doing that. I can't do this. It's too much work. But I can do 3 shows. And I can just do an hour show day. Yeah, imagine that, right? Yeah, I can't do it on my own. So then I was running my Mixcloud channel, and I was like, why do I never have any listeners? Well, because it's Mixcloud, that's why. Because mostly people are looking for dance music on Mixcloud, and I wasn't that. Because I usually, like, I do electronic music, yeah, but the stuff I do isn't dance music. A lot of the stuff I do is Witch House. A lot of the stuff I do is, like, spooky as hell. A lot of the stuff I do is, like, dark clubbing, and, like, it's a it's a dark vibe, but it's fun because as long as well, okay, since I was a teenager, I've been a very hardcore goth, so yeah, whatever. But right, yeah, I just when nobody likes you, just dive head first. Okay, I think fashion goth seems pretty cool, and so I just did that, and so I was just like, then I was in the world like not understanding anyone. I just couldn't relate with anyone because I was like such a hardcore goth, and I hung out at the clubs all the time. I'm like, the world is scary, and yeah, that's gonna create anxiety on its own. So it took me a long time to come around to like, yeah, I can relate with the world. So I'm already in like a bad spot anyway to begin with. And so yeah, I'm trying to rehab my life from sticking myself in my house for that many months and seeing all my four walls. Oh, Salem, Mass. Ah, that's awesome. That's sweet. That's you know what? That's not the land of Witch House, but I think it's not. I think the land of Witch House is like yeah, what like Kansas City, Iowa City, but Salem. I'll bet you there's some Witch House producers there for sure. Yeah, and weirdly enough, Cardiff, Wales. Yeah, yeah, the UK and Cardiff, Wales. There's lots of Witch House people there too, and Russia. Just a weird amalgamation of places, right? Yeah, and I certainly know a lot of wave producers from the Northeast, and there's some formidable wave up there. God, there's some really good stuff. But there's some really good wave all over Europe too. One of my favorite producers is in Poland. Sokos. Ah, yeah. And my very favorite witch house producers in the UK, Alicorn. And my dear buddy, my dear wave buddy, Berserker Cruise. I believe he's in Iowa City. So the Midwest. Oh, thank you. I'm rocking this beret. Yeah, you know what? This beret is nuts. I actually picked it up. I sold my soul to Timu for this beret. It was a bad idea. But the color on it, I've not seen a beret this color since I was a kid. I had a velvet beret that was this color that I was like, yes. And I wore it everywhere, and I loved the color blue. I wore blue all the time. I was like a blue goth. A weird blue goth. I loved blue. Anyway, but that's what people remember is that blue beret, and so I'm sorry, lost my phone. Ah. Um, I had a blue beret, and I wanted to replace it because mine has crumbled. It was velvet, and like I said, I bought it when I was 12, and you can imagine, you're gonna look at my face and tell I'm old. So it's an old beret. It's a really old beret, and it crumbled to dust basically. Like the band on it that was holding it on my head was it's crumbled. I can't wear it. So I had to replace it. This one's wool, which, well, that's tragic. It's not velvet, but it's a good color. And actually when I got it in the mail, I was afraid of it because it's the kind of blue that you're all, I'm not really sure if that's safe. Whatever color that is may have been dyed somewhere really scary. I've watched it a few times. And yes, you should laugh your ass off at Temu because they are terrible. And really my point was this, right? I'm just rambling. And it's okay. It's okay that I'm rambling, I guess. I'll cut this video up and put it in my playlist, I suppose. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, all over the place. Temu. I sold my soul to them because I used to work in AI. And I could see behind what they were doing. I knew they were like buying and selling people, but that there was something insidious behind it. And I read a thing on Der Spiegel that kind of made me freak out a little. And I read some stuff in some Al Jazeera and French magazines because, yeah, I worked in AI because I have a degree in linguistics. So I have a basis in many languages. Please don't mistake me. I don't speak anything but English. I barely speak that. Yeah, I speak English okay, and I studied a lot, and I studied a lot of languages, and I know like there's a lot of stuff I can hear and understand, but I can't speak anything. But yeah, those bastards. Yes, they are insidious, but they're more evil than you realize. Like, do you know, okay, so like nobody was found with like this spyware software that foreign agents were ending up with on their phones. And Apple said, hey, if anyone ends up with this Pegasus software on the phone, please report it to us. And I was like, oh, I have evidence that I have that on my phone. And I have evidence that came when I downloaded the Timo app. I was really freaked out about it. So I basically sold my soul to them to find out what they were doing. And I got this blue hat. And yes, I paid for it. Very low cost. I think I paid 25 cents for this blue hat. It is a rad blue hat. I'm not sorry. And then I turned my phone back into Apple and abandoned my Apple ID. Yeah, had to abandon my Apple ID and like let go of like a bunch of stuff. Yeah. It's so worth the blue hat. Honestly, it's worth the blue hat. It's worth all the really weird Liza Minnelli kind of jewelry that I got out of it. Because that's what I did. I went over to Temu and I got like, oh look, it's an eye made out of blinky jewels. Yay! Oh look, it's a weird Art Deco cat, one of those long Art Deco cat pins made out of jewels. I'm just gonna get everything made out of jewels and everything dyed a weird color. Yes, let's do this. And some fuzzy socks. That's what I sold myself for. But honestly, that's not really what for. I really went all in to find out about the weird spyware software. Yeah, because it freaked me out. And yeah. What else did I find in Temu? Oh my god, my friends, I could show you. Do you want? Like dirt? What do you mean like dirt? There's probably dirt with plutonium in them. And on that site, you probably buy some crazy shit on there. My boyfriend bought a box of 26 false teeth. Yeah. Yeah. What else did you find in Temu? Like, okay, I'm thinking about this, right? No, my backpack didn't come from, I'm like looking around to see if I've got stuff just laying around that I could show you that came from Temu. Because I got some crazy shit from Temu. Let's see. Maybe I can show you my coat. My coat is covered in Temu stuff. I get compliments on it all the time. Compliments on the Temu coat. Yeah, so here I am. I'm just rolling. rolling. And my chair actually, my chair is really cool. Like, my doctors are really cool. They got me this really rad chair that I can get up to 6 feet tall. I'll show you the coat. Yes, I'll show you the coat. All right, so I am about to get this rad peacock blue coat that I got on Amazon on a sale. It was a rad coat. I think I got it for $30. I like bargained with Amazon to get this coat. Because, yes, I've sold my soul to Amazon a couple times too. Surprising, right? Oh, no, not at all. Anyway, so here's the coat. Okay. I'll get it out where it's like light. I'm sorry, it's dark. This is dumb. Yes. Coat. My coat closet has a literal, well, it's not a real skeleton, but a literal plastic skeleton hanging in it. That's fun. I'll show you. Well, no, I can't flip it, so never mind. I won't show you. All right, so I've got this coat. This is my coat, and I wear it in the winters, and I take it to parties with me, and people are like, whoa, where did you get this coat? Amazon, my friends, because I have a problem, because I'll literally spend like so many hours on it, so many hours on Amazon just looking for the perfect thing until I find like a rad ass coat like this coat. Okay. It balances on my wheelchair controls. No, Amazon did not give me a blue beret, man. No, it was all Timo. Oh, fucking Timo. There goes my phone. And there goes my my turn signals too. I don't know if you saw that. That was nuts. I'm sorry. Oh, there goes my turn signals. They're blinking. Yes, my chair has literal turn signals, and what is on? No. This sucks. Turning things off. Okay. There we go. I couldn't figure out which button got hit. It's my hazards. Yeah, it's road legal. So this chair is literally road legal, so you can take it out and drive it in the street, which is cool. Has headlights, has turn signals, rad. Okay, here's the code. So yeah, the swan isn't, that's from some other party that I went to. That cat came from Temu. That's a sold my soul for the cat. It's a really red cat. And yes, I love this coat. Oh, I love this coat. Peacock blue wool. And it's another coat that I got from them. And then, okay, so like, I have many jewelry buttons on my coat. Yeah, that jewel eye came from Temu, and that cameo. These were the things I sold my soul for. And they're rad. You're right, thank you. I'm glad you agree with me. This is definitely rad. That's sweet. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can, come on. No. It says rotate the device back. Okay, thanks YouTube. Thanks for the message. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I will just throw this to the side. Hold on for a second. This is fun times. I should have a phone holder with me, but I don't. Of course I don't, because I was just holding my phone like an amateur. This is amateur hour up in here. It's not, but acting like it is. Anyway. So you want to know about this list? This list is rad. I have this music list that's incredible that I've been waiting to share for a couple weeks. The date changed from like the second week of August to like the third to like the last, and it's rad. It's a really rad list. So I will attempt to do that. Okay, how about this? So what I'm gonna do is this. I will put a post up on Maledicta Radio, and Maledicta Radio post will have the link for the list, and you can just go push play on the list, and then this video will be embedded in that. The next live video will also be embedded in that. Hopefully everything will just play. So if you follow me through the lists, I know this is, I'm trying really hard to make it so that we have like these playlists with a broadcaster style announcement that still allow the bands and the artists to retain their monetization. So I'm not playing the songs. The videos are actually just playing on the list. And then, yeah, my videos are embedded in it. but I'm trying to do that in sort of a streamlined way. I don't know. I think I need some experts. I think I need some experts to advise me, but it's all good. We'll figure it out. It's a learning curve. All right, so I will post that link presently. Follow me over there. I'll see you in a minute. Okay? Thank you for joining me.